Hey there, Drawyah here, and welcome to Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today, taking flights in the Airbus A320neo on a flight from Berlin Tegel to Nice. So, flight time today is approximately 1 hour and 20 minutes, and we're currently in the stages of boarding the aircraft, setting it all up. So, we've got the cabin crew, not cabin crew, so the ground crew boarding the cargo, have the stairs now moving away from the aircraft. And yeah, so now at this point it's just us getting ready to prepare the aircraft ready for flights today. So like I say, flight time I'm expecting it to be around 1 hour and 20 minutes, give or take a few. And overall, it should be a rather good flight. The A320 aircraft, I have got a bit more experience in flying than the 787. And so, landing especially, I expect us to bring it in first time around. So, let's jump into the cockpits, and let's start preparing the aircraft for flights. What's this? This is Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is the release version, so I do need to say a massive thank you to Microsoft who have given me the opportunity to showcase this early, and also a massive thank you to flightsim.com who have allowed me to cover the simulator for them. So yeah, thank you very much, and also for you guys who have shown me amazing support over the last couple of weeks. Truly is phenomenal. Did I get enough sleep? I got about 4.5 hours of sleep last night. The 787 certainly took it out of me. Anyways, first things first, batteries come on, external power active, and we've already refueled the aircraft, so we shall bring the fuel pumps on. This is the first of 2 flights I plan to do tonight. There'll be one more flight I'll be doing afterwards, and so I'll go into that in a bit more detail afterwards. Overhead's running. Well, I jump down to the FMS, and let's start programming our flights. Initialization, and that's broken that. So departing from Berlin Tegel, which is Echo Delta Delta Tango, to Nice Côte d'Azur, which is Lima Foxtrot Mike November. Currently flying with EasyJet today, so flying Easy 1576. Sorry, 5761. And yeah, it's a real world flight that does fly in the well, I believe the A320neo has done this route a couple of times in the past, so yes. When I fly the 7810, did that last night. I definitely did that last night, let me tell you. Cost next today is 5. With a cruising altitude of 360 down to 350 by Ibarga. So 360, we'll leave this at that. Next page, centre of gravity 0 fuel weight. So 0 fuel weight is 50.2. Centre of gravity 21.8. Block fuel is 7.4. And that should be that. Welcome IC, how you doing? Welcome everyone. Getting new stuff. Thank you very much, Andrew. Much appreciated. So, done our initialization. Now we'll start doing our not flight plan. Yeah, it will be flight plan. So, passing from Berlin, we fly to our first waypoint, which shall be Burok. Following Burok, we fly to Top D, followed by Umbau. Then it's Dessart, followed by Pibad. Following Pibad, it is next waypoint Ratip. Then it's Ibarga, which is going to be that one, Northern Hemisphere. Following Ibarga, we fly to Ivano. Should be Northern Hemisphere. And then finally we fly to Neded. Sorry, penultimately it's Neded. And then finally Vamtu. And that is our flights. So we'll insert that. We'll have a quick look at the flight plan to make sure everything's looking good. I have gone and tweaked my settings again, so hopefully this time we shouldn't have any issues with blurry textures or lagging. So with the 787, because it's a much more systems heavy aircraft, it does take a little bit more out of the CPU, but on today's stream I have decided to go back, redo my settings entirely, and well, already it's looking so much smoother. I think you guys can agree as well. So much smoother. Very dark screen. Well, it's night time, so yeah, I'm afraid it's going to be a little bit dark today. I could probably, if you guys want, let me see how this goes. Color correction. I mean, I could probably add a little bit more brightness, but the problem is that won't look very good. So I think we'll keep it naturally dark as default. Right, so plugged in our flight plan. That looks good. Let's plug in our departure, which will be runway 26 right via the Bran to November departure. So I'll plug that in as our SIDS, and that should then take us out to runway heading before eventually making a left-hand turn and then entering the flight plan as normal. Thank you very much. So now quickly grab the METAR information for Berlin Tegel. Echo Delta Delta Tango METAR. Thank you all METSATs. We are flying QNH 1012. Temperature is 6 degrees centigrade, but we'll go into our performance page for that. So takeoff speed's got the V numbers already set up, but the rest of it will set up ourselves. So we'll be using first set of flaps. Flex temp is 79. That's our takeoff now planned. Flight's all planned. We'll set our altitudes to 36,000. And in just a couple of moments, we'll get the aircraft ready for a push and start. How did you sleep? I slept very well last night, that's for sure. Didn't sleep for a long time, but I slept for a good time. Right, let's now sort out our lighting and get our aircraft ready to go. So first things first, we'll turn on the... Oops, share messages. How can you get downloads? Some people did it already. So there's no pre... Whoops, not beacon, sorry. Strobes automatic. Navigation logo lights on. Yes, there's no preload for Microsoft Flight Simulator. There won't be one. People can download the game from Tuesday. The only people who can install Microsoft Flight Simulator right now are those who are part of the beta program, as they can then use the beta, or those who are currently part of the media or streamers group, so people who can actually promote the stream simulator as it comes out in a couple of days. But yes, it should look rather good. I mean, right now, if you look at that scene, it's beautiful. I have also limited my FPS to 30 because, well, I am still using OBS. The problem with Shadow Play is that I want to be able to stream it to a custom encoder, sorry, to a custom RMTP server, but I can't, so I'm looking into working with that to try and switch to it. But for now, it should be alright, and I have set my FPS to about 30. At some point, I will do a dedicated video on my graphics settings, but a quick overview if you want that, sure thing. So for the most part, things are running on high or ultra. There's a few down at medium, but for the most part, the simulator is running at a very decent spec. It's a nice mix, which for a GTX 1660, a 97600 processor and 16GB of RAM, isn't too terrible. Right, so we'll now prepare the aircraft for pushback. We need to push back to the left, and then we'll make our way over to the runway. We shall do that. Quick final check, make sure everything's looking good. We'll start up the APU. This will take a few seconds to warm up. We'll get off the ground power, and then we'll get the aircraft independent of all ground systems. Check your last message. You have to try again, Leo, because chat is running relatively fast, and therefore it's just a case of actually trying to catch up with what you guys are trying to say. Nice Nice is such a nice airport. Comedy 100%. Is the plane fixed? I mean, it works. It does what it needs to do. RS is inop, but one of the things that could potentially get simulated in the near future. Right, that's That's all running now, so APU generator, nope, APU generator is on, APU bleed comes on now. External power off. Quick check the overhead panel, which I'm happy with everything as it is, which I am. We'll turn on the lighting, so that way I can actually see what's going on in the cockpits. Dome lights. I've also got a dome light, but I don't think I'm going to really need that today. But yeah, I've got a dome light. And we've also got the brightness panels as well. So I can turn up the brightness of the PFD and ND. So I have it about there. It's not too bright, but you can still read the information. Let's turn both up by 1. Cool. Let's bring over the pushback tug and let us now start our taxi. So we'll turn on the beacon lights to alert the ground crews that we are ready for push and start. Strobe lights set to automatic, so they'll come on whenever they need to. Press Shift P. The pushback toggle now connects to the aircrafts, and we shall get ready for engine starter. We'll turn the ignition to start. Wait for the pushback tug now to hook up to the aeroplane. Then, as you need to remember, with the A321neo, you start up the engine number 1 first, then the number 2. So left engine first, then right. Most other aircraft you do right, then left, but with the A320neo, I'm not exactly sure why that is the case, but you do it in that order. So engine 1 master starts. Make sure that the engine's running, which they are, so I have done everything right, fortunately. Also tell the aircraft to push back to the right, so that we can consider those lefts. What's the menu today? EasyJet don't do any meal service, and therefore don't think anyone expects too much on the menu today. You get the usual stuff like paninis or lasagna or whatever else. We can also do the right engine if we wanted to. The A320neo is capable of dual engine starts, so we could do it if we wanted to, but we'll do one after the other. Let's now start engine 2. I'm actually going to turn down the brightness slightly as well, because that's probably a bit too much on the panels there. There you go, that's a bit sharper now, a bit clearer, so too much lighting, you can overload it. I've just realised I've got a bit too far in my pushback there, so we're going to push back to the left now, and actually straighten the aircraft out of it. I can't wait for GSX or the FS2 crew better pushback. It's going to make things a lot easier when it comes to actually pushing the aircraft back, because this is definitely a bit awkward at times. We'll stop it here and we'll taxi out the rest of the way. Right, both engines are starting. They have the dog bark, yes, they have got the PTU. Both engines are starting. As soon as engines are stable, we'll turn off the ignition, we will turn off the APU. And yeah, let's get everything ready now for taxi and takeoff. So we'll arm the speed brakes. All flight surfaces should be active. Turn on the taxi lights, and let us now head over to the runway. It's a little bit bright because it is nighttime right now, but that's another thing that probably will see an update. Also, I'm going to turn the flight director on as well. There was a PTU, Samuel. You could hear it when the engine was starting up. What about masks? Passengers should be wearing masks at the moment as part of EU aviation regulations. I believe it's the case now for most of the world as well. Yes, the taxi lights does bright up inside the cockpits. One of those things that Asoba are aware of and will be fixing soon. ETA, flight time is 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour and 15 minutes. Weather is real life weather right now, so everything is live time, live weather. And therefore we are keeping it all current. SimBrief, we have used SimBrief for flight planning. I'll be doing a tutorial on that in the next couple of weeks. How's the frame rate as well, guys? I mean, my 787 stream was quite laggy, I will admit, but how's this one doing? Is this a bit smoother than yesterday? Because like I say, I've spent a lot of time today just tweaking all my settings and making sure that everything's now running a bit better than it was before. So, blurry textures should no longer be a thing, nor should frame rates drop. Much smoother, much appreciated. I do apologise for the 787 stream, and for that landing as well, I shall also apologise, but at that point I was awake for 23 hours, and chat was just going crazy with my altitude call-outs and all that. Right, quick video check of the runway. There's nobody on approach. Nobody on the runway. All looks clear. So we shall now turn on the landing lights. We shall taxi into position and get ready to depart. Brake set to max in case of rejected takeoff. Spoilers we've armed. Ooh, flaps down to 1 as well. Should probably remember to set the flaps. And let's enter the runway. How much FPS? We're running at a solid 30 right now. I have limited the FPS to 30. Although I can easily get to about 50 to 60 in the sim, especially with its current settings right now. But just so that OBS runs a bit smoother, everything right now is limited to 30 FPS. Oh, that light is blinding. Yeah, so that's the HDR coming into action there. These lights will... Well, I should hopefully have... if I knew about that, I'd give you guys an epilepsy warning, because I did not expect it to be quite that much. Right, we'll taxi past that, and then we shall run up the engines. Lights go brr. Right. Engines up 50%. 1 and 2 are stable. Engine up to 2, flex. Push the stick down for any premature lifts. 80 knots. That car just crossed the runway. V1 rotates. Positive climb, gear up. And there we are. Welcome to Berlin. Oops, bring back the throttle to climb. Flaps up 1. There we go. We'll fly runway heading for a short bit, and then we'll be following the SID out. Yeah, the nighttime environment in the sim is gorgeous. And again, just looking at Berlin, it's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. We've also got the red lights for tall buildings and cranes. That all appears in the sim. It's oh so stunning. Alright. Let's us set the altimeter to standard. Let's switch on the autopilot. Passenger view, sure thing. Let's have a look at the passenger views. So you've got left hand side, and you've got right hand side. Still a little bit of the light on the horizon, but for the most part, sun is down and the flight will be taken in darkness. FPS running at 30 FPS right now, but only because I have limited it. If I turned off the FPS limiter, I'd be getting around 50 right now. Passing through 10,000 feet, and lights off. Aircraft pick up speeds. We should now follow onto the flight plan. Please show settings. I did show the settings just before we took off. At some point, like I say, I will do a dedicated video just on my graphics settings in the new version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. You'll get some bad weather in South Germany, thanks to the warning. I will be checking the metadata as the flight goes through. Nice lights of Berlin at night. It is pretty. It is pretty. How can you download? The simulator will be available on the Microsoft Store and also on Steam. I will also try and manage chat as well, because the admins aren't here, I don't think, right now, but I'll see how the chat goes. Berlin Brandenburg is the best airport. Is it even open yet? Actually, I say that. Isn't Brandenburg Airport now actually open? Or at least it's like a month away from opening. It's very close now at this stage. Yes, this is live weather. Live weather, live time. Not travel to. Weather, there you go. So you've got 21:36 local time, 19:36 Zulu, and live weather presets. Respects from Russia, thank you very much. I can see up there, there's an aeroplane flying by as well. That's only a single flash on the strobe, and therefore that will probably be an A380, perhaps? I'm not sure. That is a real aeroplane right up there. So AI traffic is determined based on the positions of real-world AI planes. Of real-world traffic, so it takes all the worldwide plane data, injects it into the sim, and then uses that to fill the world. So it's a very nice system. That you can have AI traffic as the real traffic. What's 9 plus 10? 21. If you know that, Vine, then you are an OG. VNAV, not yet. The VNAV works in 787, and an A320 it still needs a little bit of work to get it right. If I used the built-in flight planner, it would work fine. But because I use SimBrief, it doesn't quite work yet. Running at 30 FPS limited. If I turn it off, I can push up to about 50 FPS. Graphics preset custom. I am using custom graphics settings. My next long haul flight planned. I'd like to do one on Tuesday. I'd like to do a proper flight on Tuesday, something that goes on perhaps even longer than the 7 hours you did from London to Dubai. And there you go, that's another thing I quite like. So at high altitude and from a far enough distance, I mean, okay, you may call it blurry, but that right there is genuinely what a city looks like at high altitude, far away at night. If you've ever flown at night, you'll know that this is exactly what you'll be looking at outside the window. It is phenomenal. I mean, up close you can see the individual lights because it's a lot more closer, but on the distance, on the horizon, this is exactly what you see in real life. It is so unbelievable. Microsoft Flight Simulator is a beautiful, beautiful platform. It's so dark, but it's nighttime. This is what nighttime is like. Yeah, so that AI aeroplane we saw up there, I'm not 100% sure if it's an A380 or not, that's just based on what the strobe is, but that plane up there is a real aeroplane that's flying right now. There's another aeroplane in front of me as well somewhere. There. That right there is a real aeroplane flying there right now. So, if I go to my settings and go to data, so real air traffic, so it connects to live air traffic services. Basically what that does is uses the internet information on real life flights and injects those real life flights into the simulator. So everything you see is real life, basically. Bing Maps satellite imagery, AI traffic. I mean, you have got automatically generated airports, some look better than others, admittedly, that's always the case in any flight simulator that doesn't have hand-built airports, but yeah, it truly is amazing what Asobo have achieved for this platform so far. Can you brighten or dim the panel? Yes I can, so I can turn up and down the MFD, DMD and PFD. I can go down here, I can adjust the flood lighting if I wanted to, but I don't particularly like flood lighting myself, so I'll leave that on minimum. Also again got the panel lighting as well, so I can turn it off entirely and just have no lighting really on the main bit there. But it's all fully adjustable, it's all fully customizable to how you want it. It does work as it should. It's a very, very nicely done aircraft this. Makes you miss flying. Same here, I've not done a proper trip for a couple of months now. Do wipers work? Yes, wipers do work, but because we are at, we're above 10,000 feet now, so in the Airbus aircraft the wipers will automatically not work above 10,000 feet, but if you remind me to show you once we are descending, I can then have a look, see the wing views, sure thing. We can do right-hand passenger and left-hand passenger. Any airline liveries? Not yet, but when the simulator does release on Tuesday, Asobo might do some. If not, then expect the airline liveries to appear probably within a couple of hours when the people start making them on the freeware market. Crizzy's here. Is he the only mod on YouTube? No. So I've got 3 moderators on YouTube. I've got Crizzy, Mo, and Stefano. Stefano only appears from time to time, but I do like him. And then on Twitch is just Crizzy, but with my Twitch chat, it's generally a lot more peaceful. As people describing in yesterday's stream, Twitch is first class, while YouTube is economy. Let's see how many people we've got. We've got 737 people on right now. We have 700 on YouTube and 37 on Twitch. Nobody on Facebook. Facebook only gets like 1 or 2 viewers anyway, so hey. Stefano is unseen. He's always hidden behind the scenes. FPS running at a solid 30. If I turned off my FPS limiter, then we'd be running at about 50 right now. Hate it? What's wrong with Samuel? What part of the sim do you hate? Can you dim the lights in the cockpit for a better view outside? I mean, I can dim them if you want. I'll dim everything here. But it doesn't really affect the outside so much. The lighting is separate. Right, so we've now just hit our cruising altitude of 36,000 feet, flight level 360. Check the dome light, sure thing. We can turn on dome lights. Not that one, that one. So we've got medium brightness, and we've got maximum brightness. So we have got dome lights, and they will fill the aircraft up. That also affects the camera lighting on the outside, so as I've turned dome lights on, you can now see it's much brighter inside the cockpit, even from an external view. My system specs in the description, but it's an NVIDIA GTX 1660 graphics card on an i7 6700 processor and 16GB of RAM. We'll turn off dome lights now since, well, I personally quite like it slightly darker in the cockpit. And for the most part, cockpit should be sterile unless you need it. Good afternoon, Sean. How you doing? It's currently 9 PM in the UK, so for me it is the evening. Autopilot does still rock, but not as bad as it used to. If you remember the earlier premieres I used to do, so back when I did Inverness, or back when I did the, even the monsoon flights, the aircraft used to tilt quite badly. This is much more normal, much more natural, and a lot closer to the actual thing. What flight sim I use? So I use the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. I have the HOTAS Warthog stick, HOTAS Warthog throttle. Good AI traffic. It's so good, it's real life AI traffic, which is AI traffic based on real life aeroplane positions. Is there a map that shows you where you are? Yes, there is, but, well, for those who were watching my 787 stream, you will know why I don't like using the map. If you know, you know. Can you fire missiles with that? I mean, I've got the trigger button for it, but last time I checked, there wasn't a keyboard combination for missiles. Is DK stream midnight Monday? Thanks. I don't know yet. It will be Monday evening, so I am working in the morning. Then Tuesday, I'll see how that goes. Is the ILS alignment fixed? Alignment on the ILS is much better than it used to be, yes. Are you streaming Twitch at the same time? Yes, I am. How's it going? I'm not too bad at the moment. It's been a pretty good weekend for me, actually. I mean, I've had a blast streaming for you guys. You've all been phenomenal. And at a railway too, volunteering. It's been a very good weekend for me. Like I say, VNAV isn't quite there yet. It hasn't calculated the airspeeds. So I have inputs the, where is it? Performance. Initialization, there we go. So I've put in the zero fuel weight, block fuel, and cost index. But still needs a little bit more work, the VNAV. FPS, 30 FPS, but limited. If I turn off the limiter, it goes up to about 50. What about the honeycomb yoke and throttle? From what I've heard, I mean, I don't have the honeycomb myself, but from what I've heard and seen from people, it's a very fine bit of kit. Is that Scorpius dead ahead? Presumably, all the stars are in their real-life locations as well, so the sky map is completely natural. The sim is as true to life as you could probably guess at this stage. Yes, last night we did a 7-hour flight in 787 from London Heathrow to Dubai. A few small issues with that stream, but I'll leave it out for you guys to watch. Fingers crossed today should be a little bit smoother, a lot more streamlined. We're running on high settings, some set to ultra, so it's a bit of a mix. At some point I'll do a dedicated video on my graphics settings. 18th of August for PC, the Xbox version of Microsoft Flight Simulator is as of yet unannounced. We don't know when the Xbox version will be out. The Asobo team on Thursday confirmed that it won't be out for a couple of months. Right, so since you guys are interested, let's go through my system. So, flight time is 1 hour 20 minutes. Thank you, Austin. Welcome from Facebook. So, at the moment, this is my CPU, an i7-6700 CPU at 3.4 gigahertz. This is, well, it's running at 55% utilization. Sometimes it'll jump a little bit, but that's only when it needs to do, like, certain systems. But for the most part, it's running nice and smooth. My RAM, I have 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. And, yeah, it's currently running at 8 gigs out of my 16, so I'm only using about 50% at the moment. It is very, very light on that regard. My internet download speeds, it does jump around a little bit, but you get around no more than 400 kilobits per second at the moment. 400 kilobits per second download, usually a bit lower than that even. And then the GPU, the graphics card, the NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1660, 3D is running at about 43%. I am using 4.4 gigabytes out of my 6 gigabytes of VRAM. And yeah, the only thing that's really running right now is the video encoder on OBS. So that is running very light. In terms of temperatures, my MSI Afterburner is telling me that my GPU is running at 64 degrees centigrade while being overclocked and slightly undervolted, because that's a recommendation actually with NVIDIA cards. Because what they do is fill the card with excess power, because they anticipate you to overclock it in order to run it a bit cooler. They do recommend you undervolt it a bit. Over there, you've got another aeroplane. That's a real-world aircraft currently flying the sky right now. Graphics. Okay, I'll go through graphics again, but like I say, for the most part, things are running on high or ultra. A few sets to medium, but for the most part, we are running very, very decent bit of spec. And it looks good. It looks good. So, we'll do a second live stream tonight. When we land, we'll reset everything and take off again. We'll fly that one during the daytime to show you guys more of what the day stream looks like as well. Where are we? We're currently over Germany. I mean, I'm still just looking at this, mesmerised at how good this looks. At high altitude, when flying over a city, the ground lighting really does look like these little cloudy effects of light. This is spot on. You've got these tall buildings or wind farms here, so you've got turbines down below, which all have their little red light dots. Yes, this is the Airbus A320neo. This is the French short to medium haul aircraft. Have I done window modes? Yes, I have, but you can do them again. So you have the left-hand window, and we have the right-hand window. Okay, turn off the passenger area lights. Area lights are currently turned off for passengers. Do we have a weather radar? Yes, we do, although it is currently turned off. Well, it's not turned off, sorry, it is turned on, there's just no weather, but down here is where you can modify the weather radar. So, if we set to weather and turbulence, if there was any weather and turbulence to detect, then it would, but at the moment it is clear skies. I am warned there are a few storm cells over in South Germany right now, so we'll keep an eye out for those. Got an aeroplane over there, flying relatively close to us in the other direction. Does terrain button work? Yes, it does. Remind me over the Alps, turn it on, and we'll have a look at the weather radar when flying over the Alps. I wonder if I can use drone cam to try and get an idea of that aeroplane over there. 1,000 feet flyby. Right, where is it? There. And it's just out of range. I can't quite see the aeroplane. We are running in full screen at the moment. haven't really seen too much of the window mode or fixed blurs, but I'll look into that if you guys say so. TCAS does work, yes. What content do I plan to do after release? I'll be doing a lot more live streams. Wednesdays, Saturdays and Sundays I'll be going live. What's yoke stick am I using? I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. How long does this flight last? This flight will be lasting 1 hour and 20 minutes. Thank you very much, Adam. Much appreciated. Glad you enjoyed the content. Should I got TCAS alerts? Not particularly. I mean, it wasn't that close to me. It was certainly more than 1 mile away. If you keep an eye on the system down here, whenever you see aircraft appear, you'll see like a yellow triangle heading different directions, and so keep an eye on that. If I zoom in a bit closer, it should be a bit more visible for you, but certainly not close enough to cause a VNAV call out. There's a little bit of distance between us. Flight time left, flight time approximately 50 or so minutes. Okay, so on the cabin lights. Cabin lights control actually from the galley, not the cockpit in the A320. So far I've been flying for about 20 minutes. Microsoft's ideal specs are for Ultra, recommended spec is for about High, and minimum requirements for Low. How's landing in the last stream? Interesting was the last stream landing. Am I from London? Yes, I am. Should do some flight challenges. At some point I will do, if you guys are interested in seeing some of the challenges. Don't know what time it releases. So it releases at midnight Zulu UK. So midnight Zulu. So in the UK that'd be 1 in the morning. Figure out what time in your local time zone is 00 GMT. Am I Guna? No, I'm not. I'm Chelsea. I'm blue. London is blue. When's it daylight? The shark alert reflects off the wing. Should do. In fact, let's turn over to daytime quickly. Show you guys what that's like right now. So if I quick show over to day. Just quickly adjust the camera. Where's my drink? There's drink cam. Yeah, so this is daytime right now. So far, there's a little bit of haze on the ground there right now. And completely clear skies all around. I could add some weather as well if I wanted to, so let's stick a few high-level clouds. Or even just a few ground clouds. There you go, scatters a bit nicer. And really start to build simulator worlds. But for the most part, we shall fly live time, and we'll fly live weather. How long's the flight? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Looks good. I'm glad you like it. Is the A350 coming stock? Not at this stage, no. There's no A350 that's been announced yet. Love you, Vid. It's your birthday soon. Hope you get it. Oh, happy birthday, Ultra. Let's hope you do get Microsoft Flight Sim soon. Lucky boy you are, flight level 40 on the 7.3. Yeah, so this is the release version of Microsoft Flight Simulator. This is what you guys will be getting on Tuesday when it was released. Thank you for replying to the answers. No worries, Tom. I do try my best to try and answer as many questions as possible. When's download available? Download's available on Tuesday. You sir are a really good pilot. If you think I'm a good pilot, you obviously did not watch my 787 stream yesterday. Average speed, MPS. I'm pretty sure about download megabytes per second. At the moment, I'm only in the kilobytes right now. It's tiny. Nice voice, thank you, Muffle. Most people seem to hate my voice, but you get the odd person. Do I have Premium Deluxe? Yes. So this is the Premium Deluxe version. So this includes all the premium aircraft, all the premium airports. Only go around after 7 hours, yes. How much sleep did I get? I got about 3.5, 4.5 hours of sleep last night. Is there multiplayer? Yes, there is. It's 1 AM UK release time. Yes, so 1 in the morning UK time when Sim releases. Check how that converts to your local time zones. I believe in Australia you get it at 10 PM on the Monday, so you get it quite... No, 10 AM on Mondays, you get it quite early. Are you there, Crizzy? You don't seem to appear on my chat. I can't see comments. Say something to me, man. Yeah, you don't seem to appear on my chat. Am I missing comments? If I am, I need to double check this. Oh, there you are. Massive spamming, that person be banned. Thank you. Crizzy, is there a hard drive choice for installing? Yes. So, when you download the launcher, you get to select which folder you want to download everything to. So, in my case... let's quickly pop up that. So, in my case, it's installed to C, Games, Microsoft Flight Simulator. And that's where I've downloaded the 150 gigabytes of data to. Then the launcher is onto a different drive running. External night view, please. Sure thing. There's another airplane just down there. It's not I've repeated last night. The A320 I've got a lot more experience in Microsoft Flight Sim, and so it should be a lot smoother. Plus, I'm not quite as knackered this time. How fast my internet? My upload speeds are 20 megabytes per second, download 180 megabytes per second. Runway will be landing, I believe initially it's 16 left. 22 left, but it could change. It is an RNAV approach into Nice, so there's no ILS. We will be flying it in freehand for the most parts. Yeah, 22 left. It's a fun approach, but I do need to be very careful with the approach as well, because like I said, there's no ILS, it's an RNAV. How do you slew? You press Y on the keyboard to slew. I'm not going to slew today, but I will do at some points. No worries, Austin, you take care. You take care of yourself on Facebook. Can you use Live Traffic 24? You probably could, yes, because it uses the real-world traffic data within the sim. Is there a time warp feature? Yes, there is. During my second flights, I'll go into a little bit more detail about how time warp works and what it entails, but yes, there is a time warp. Do I have a joystick? Yes, I do. I'm using a Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog, stick and throttle. Is the launcher different programs to the actual sim? No. So the launcher is the simulator itself. There's two steps to download. You have to download the launcher, which is the executable file and all that stuff. And then the second download is all the contents. You download the airplanes, you download the hand-built airports, you download all the that's a bit really. You download airports, you download airplanes, and you download other stuff that run locally. Joystick, Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog. FPS at night, I'm running at a solid 30 right now, but that's because I've limited my FPS. If I turned off the FPS limiter, we'd be flying at around 50 FPS right now. So how we see eclipses? I actually don't know yet. I should really change my date and time to a day of the eclipse and actually see if that happens. Do I play DCS? From time to time I do, but not often. Not often enough. I'd like to play it a bit more. How long did it take me to download the game? So it was 127 gigabytes. It took me 5 hours to download on 180 megabytes per second download speeds. 5 hours. Will I get PMDG? Yes, I will. I bought the 737 NGXU, which means that when the NG3 comes out, I only have to pay $40. It's still the total $139.99, but I just pay it in 2 steps, and at the same time, I also have 2 aircraft for the price of 1, which is very nice. I do really like the 737. I'll give you credit, Crizzy. I do like your presets comments there. You copy and paste from time to time just to answer a few questions. Do I fly in real life? Sometimes, but not often. I'm not a pilot, although I am trying to get back into my student pilot stuff again. But I have got some GA experience. I have got some glider experience as well. And so I have flown aircraft in real life, but not as often as I'd probably like to. Do some planes cost money? Cause you to get the game soon. Yes, so third-party aircraft will cost money to download. There almost certainly will be some freeware projects, but there will be a fair few paywares as well. Welcome, Frostlines, how are you doing? Hey Henry, how are you doing? Is live traffic releasing good? Yes it is. 13-year-old likes aviation, anything you know about where the autopilot buttons and general startup and landing and stuff. The more you fly, the more you kind of get used to the controls and learn how it all works. Does live streaming lower your FPS? Oh, did live options lower your FPS? Some of them do, some of them don't. So for example, the big map streaming data does lower your FPS because you have to then download it, render it, spread it out on the entire map. That does limit your FPS. But other stuff, not too bad. Can I fly from San Fran, is that? Sorry, SWF. That's SWF, SWF, SWF. That's Stuart. Stuart International. We'll see. How many hours in the game releases? The game releases in just under 48 hours. How long left? Probably around 30, 40, 50 minutes till we land. Still got a fair bit of flying to go. But we should soon be entering Italy. If you fly this game in real life and crash into the ground, it breaks based on continuity. I mean, it's that good. Will I fly 737 anytime soon? So the PMDG 737 is expected to release in Q1 of 2021. Hi Zodiac, how are you? Is it on Xbox? Not yet. Xbox comes soon. Game name, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Welcome from Russia. So I'm trying to catch up with the questions now. Is it small home? Oh, Leeds Bradford's at some points. TCAS working, yes. Can you fly to the International Space Station? I mean, the maximum altitude is 400,000 feet, so I don't know, how high is it cruising, the space station? Nice is 04 left now, so have the winds changed? Okay, I'll keep an eye out on the weather, and I will update if need be, but if the winds have changed and 04 left is now the landing runway, let me jot that down 2 seconds. I'll look at the METAR data as you do come to approach. Tour of the cockpit, sure thing. So you've got your prime flight display, your navigation display, you've got your engine information in the middle. Here you've got autopilot panels, as well as your ND settings. You've got your barometer. On your left you've got your brightness. Down here you've got your throttle, you've got your flight management systems. You've got your air traffic control panel, frequency radio, you've got your squawk. You've got your flaps, you've got your speed brakes, you've got parking brake, you've got emergency gear drop, you've got the cockpit door switch, you've got your overhead panel, and yeah, that's your A320 cockpit tour. It's not too much to the A320, it's a very simple aircraft to pick up and fly. Can I do a barrel roll? No. The A320 will not let you do a barrel roll. The fly-by-wire does limit you from being able to do so, so no. The A320 will block you from doing a barrel roll. Blame fly-by-wire. International space station is at 1.3 million feet, so no, I don't think you can quite get that far. Why are you using your mouse to look around? So yes, I've got my mouse to look around. So you can right click and drag, or you can press the middle mouse button and just drag around. So middle mouse button locks it while you have to hold right click. Or you can also use your joystick to look around as well, which I'm doing right now. So yeah, a few combinations of camera. Is 737 MAX having to Microsoft Flight Simulator? I believe PMDG said that they will be doing a MAX for the simulator, yes. I'm just having a think. We're going to fly over the Alps, but don't expect to see too much because, well, it's the middle of the night and there are no lights in the mountains, so it's going to be just a rather dark patch on what's already a dark flight. Yes, terrain radar we will be turning on. That's, let me just turn it on now. So, that'll start turning red as soon as we start flying over it. At the moment it's flat, but we'll keep an eye out on it. Why do you not see any other planes on radar? Because the radar takes two things into account, the distance and the altitude. So if the airplane's 5,000 or 6,000 feet above or below us, then it won't appear. And likewise, if it's far enough away in any other direction, then it won't appear either. So it's a bit limited to the distance to where the aircraft radar. And so not every aircraft you spot will appear on the panel there. Does FPS drop at night? Not particularly, no. FPS is rather stable regardless when you fly. Is there an easy mode where you can fly around and not worry about controls? Yes, there is. So if you go to Assistance, you can turn all the assistance on. I've actually turned off the crash damage because if you turn that on and you crash, it makes the screen fade to black. If you disable them and crash, then, well, interesting stuff happens, let me tell you that. So I recommend turning those off, actually, and not enabling crash. And also, if I go over to, where is it, flight model, so you can go to legacy, yes, got realistic, or you got FSX, or you got intermediate, but I quite using the modern flight dynamics. We'll discard any changes and we'll continue to fly as is. One of these days we'll do an emergency landing, we'll see, we'll see. Have I seen elephants or giraffes, or hazards encountered in the game? I mean, I have seen animals, yes. Just not in this part of the world. And what hazards have I encountered? So, if you go to your failures panel, which you do in the main menu, I'll go through it at some point, all the failures. Doing good, thank you Adam, much appreciated. That landing was butter on the second attempt. After that first approach, I absolutely need to go around, so there's no way I would be landing that first one. There are birds, yes. We've got everything, even from flamingos. He wants to fly into a giraffe, see what happens. Well then, Doomslayer, you are a horrible person. Poor giraffes. Do I like turtles? I like turtles. I'd love to see a Q400, yes. Yeah, he'd mean it in the game. It's not a game, it's a simulator. Remember, game, simulator, game, simulator. Love an MD-11. Well, we'll see what TFDI Design do, because I know that TFDI are designing an MD-11 for P3D. I'm not sure if they've announced much flight sim yet, but I could have missed something. Steam release time is the same as Microsoft as far as I'm aware, yes. 2 days to release, it releases on Tuesday. Can't wait, nor can I. You started with FSX, I started with FS 2004. Can you say... Magandang Umaga Pilipinas. Well, if Google translates, it means Good Morning Philippines, so I'm happy to say that. Magandang umaga Pilipinas. I've probably botched that pronunciation, but hey. What about the engine? I need answers. What about the engine? Sorry, I missed your question there, Jordan. First one, F95. Is it possible to ditch? I believe so. How do you pre-download Microsoft Flight Sim? So, in my case, because I'm a writer for flightsim.com, I've managed to pick up a copy of the simulator through them. So, I do need to say a massive thank you to Microsoft, who have allowed me to preview the simulator early for you guys and showcase what it looks like on a medium high-spec PC. It's a very, very nice optimized simulator, and one that does run rather well. Should the cockpit... Hang on, pardon me, should have a question there. Shouldn't the cockpit be darker? Is there a light behind you? I mean, I can make the cockpit darker if you want me to. I can turn off every bit of lights in this if I really wanted to. And just make everything really horrible. But, I quite like my lighting, so leave it as it is. And to be fair, if they made the cockpit pitch black, then that'd probably cause more problems in itself. So, even if there is a tiny bit of light source coming out of somewhere, I'd much rather have that than just completely pitch black. How long's the flight? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Have I started from Dusseldorf? Not in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but I have done it in X-Plane and P3D a couple of times, Dusseldorf. Will they have top strength? I mean, they've got it working on 787, which is default aircrafts. So they have got it working on some planes, and they are currently upgrading the others to have it working soon. Matulog ka Pilipinas. Matulog ka Pilipinas. Go to bed, Philippines. What was my first flight simulator? My first flight simulator was FS 2004. I got that in 2005, and yeah, one of my earliest memories, probably flying in the Mooney Bravo between London Heathrow, London City, and RAF Northolt, because there's 3 airports close together within London, and so I just did a little bit of a circuit flight between all 3 of them. Great memories of that. How old am I? I'm 21. Please lose an engine. No, thank you. What yoke slope joystick do you use? Oh, in chat. Okay, you guys answer that then. What stick and rudder, whatever, do you use? How long till landing? Zizu asks. Landing is an approximately... not long. So there's our destination. Let's have a look at the METAR right now. LFMN. Lima Foxtrot Mike November. So the winds are currently, because I was told that it has now changed to 04 left active runway. Yeah, 162 the wind's coming from, so... 80 minutes ago. Interesting. So is it... If one of you guys confirm for me as well, is it still runway 4 left, the new Sots? Nice. Second flight, yes. So this is just my first flight tonight. I will be doing another one a couple of minutes after we land. But yeah, 04 left. Looks like we'll be our active runway for today. Well, at the very least, 04 does give us the ILS. Let's have a look at how that approach works. So if I go to plan mode, zoom in, and go step by step. Yeah, that approach. So we come on in, right hand turn, onto the local type, and come into land. So 2704 knots. Okay, so we'll stick it on 04 left, and that way we can also make use of the ILS. Are there NTSB inquiries if plane crashes? Microsoft Flight Simulator is good, but I don't think we quite have that level of realism just yet. What country do I live in? I live in the UK. Are the stars accurate? Yes. So this is a real-life star map. All the stars are in their real-world locations. You want to fly 787, but don't pay £6 more. I mean, I guess the alternative would be to not buy the game on pre-order or on release, wait a couple of months and see if it got like a Steam sale or something, or like a winter sale. I mean, that is the only thing that comes to mind, is like if you want to get the game slightly cheaper, wait a couple of months and then wait for it to go on sale. What would second flight be? Second flight will be from London Heathrow to Athens. That'll be a daytime flight. And, yeah, we'll be flying over that. Show daytime, sure thing. Let's have a look what daytime looks like right now. So at the moment we are flying over some very rural scenery at the moment, and therefore, well, not really too much you can see for the ground at the moment, but if we're flying over somewhere a bit more busier, then certainly we get to enjoy that a bit more. I've had some clouds as well. Show off more of the clouds in the simulator. It does all look rather good. Does it have like Avitab? No. You're talking about crashing again, so if you set the... where is it? Accessibility? No. If you set the assistance, the failure and damage to enabled, screen fades to black, says you crashed. If you disable it, it no longer fades to black. So I'll leave that as a pro tip for when Simulator does release. When you go to your crash settings, disable the fade to black, and then things get mighty interesting. What edition of the game? This is the Premium Deluxe. I've missed what you said there, Jack. Is the Microsoft Flight Sim bot actually public for us to use? If it is, then I'll look into configuring it and adding it. How long to touchdown? Touchdown's in approximately 30 minutes or so. We're not too far from the airport now. It doesn't quite explode, but interesting things happen when you disable the screen fade to black. Maybe I'll show it off at some point. The stars are using the real sky map, yes. So if you wanted to fly by navigating the stars, it is possible to fly navigating the stars. What do you mean by delay? Check if your stream's running up to date, but there should be no delay. Refresh the page if you need to. Would you like to have military planes in MSF? I mean, if I want military planes, I'd normally go for DCS for it, but the Tomcats, the F-14 that I've seen announced, does look rather interesting, so I'll definitely have a look at it for sure. Who flies VFR at night, though? I mean, it's a type rating you can do, night flights. 101 QNH, runway. Yeah, okay, cool. Thank you for the weather updates. If I quickly go to my FMS, that one. We go to my performance page, go to approach, QNH 1011. We get that up again. It was 1012 according to my meta. Temperature is 19 degrees. Winds are currently 0602. You might have a slightly different METAR source, but I'm using all Metsat. This is the source of weather I've got right now. Wait, why am I looking at Munich? Oh, that makes much more sense. Sorry, this is my current METAR information. Yeah, sorry about that. I'm not sure what I was looking at. So, it's 1011. No, well, I was getting slightly different information. Temperatures at 25. Winds are 270 at 4. Transition altitude 6,000. Decision height 4,000. Full flap standing. Right, so once we're on approach phase, that will then take over. A320-300 is the best aircraft indeed, as you say, Chrissy. For me, the 737 is by far the best aircraft. Will Microsoft allow freeware developers? Yes, they will. Can you show eCam system pages? Not yet. Is that Ciciglo? Yes, so that in front of us is Milan. We're flying over the Alps right now, although we're too high for it to be on the radar there. But that there is Milan. We're going to fly right next to Bergamo Airport. We are now crossing the border into Italy. Can I explain what transition altitude is? So transition altitude is the moment you switch from local altimeter, which is local air pressure, and standard altimeter, which is 1012 or 2992 if you're using hectopascals or inches. So basically, around the world, aircraft, in order so that they fly in the same altitude, same level, they will use standard altimeter. That way, if you're at flight level 410 or 41,000 feet, every aircraft is at the exact same altitude. When you take off and land at airports, your altitude will change depending on air pressure. So I'm not quite sure how it determines altitude exactly, but it senses the air pressure outside, feeds that into a server, which then feeds that into the aircraft displays. And so depending on the air pressure, it'll change how your altitude is. And therefore, what you do is then use that to change the altitude, and therefore match that with the ground altitude, or the altitude of area, depending on the pressure. That's a horrible explanation of how it works, but I'm sure somebody out there understood that explanation of standard altimeter and local altimeter. My CPU is an i7-6700. My favourite place to fly? I mean, the Greek islands are beautiful. There we go, so Milan slowly now coming to view. How old is Drawyah? I'm 21. Actually, yeah, so it's like airspeed and ground speed. So because there's less air pressure outside, at the moment I'm seeing indicated airspeed of 262 knots. In reality, we're going much faster than that. Because we're at higher altitudes, there's less air pressure and therefore less air going to the pitot tubes, and therefore showing that it's less airspeed. My ground speed in reality is 451 knots, so we're going about twice as fast from the air indicated to actual ground speed. And so that's another thing that you also use to determine your current speeds. I thought I was 15? Gosh, no way. You don't sound 21. I mean, if it wasn't so laggy... Give me a second. If it wasn't so laggy, I would have a webcam running as well. But, well, my light's a bit off right now, so you guys can't really see me, but... Hello there, everyone. I know. I don't sound 21, do I look 21? That's the other question. To be fair, it's not affecting the frame rate that much today. Microphone artifacts. No, it's not a bad bit of microphone, this. Anyways, I'll turn that off again and just get on without. Looks so much different than you thought. Everyone says that. Everyone says that. Green screen would be fine. Yes, I do need to work on my camera a bit, but for now, we'll leave it without. I don't look 21, I don't sound 21. Who am I? Do I need to show my passport as proof of age? Speaking of which, where is my passport? Ah, there it is. Glad I've still got that. Would there be more Boeing or Airbus aircraft added to the game? Well, there'll be a good mix of both, depending on the third-party add-ons. Don't show passports. Oh, so you don't want to go through identity thefts and pretend you're me? Where's my water bottle gone? There it is. Why play-ons cost so much? Well, they're third-party developers. They've got to price up their own structure, and also the actual level of quality in development also gets taken into account. Is the plane easy to learn? I mean, the A320 is a easy plane to learn anyways. It's not too difficult to fly. 99% of systems are done automatically for you, so... what's the biggest aircraft in the game? Right now, it's the 747-8 Continental. Almost morning. In the UK, it's coming up to 10 PM right now, so not too late. Resolution's at 1080p today. 1080p. Sounds like the YouTube chat's going a bit out of control again. I'll let Crizzy deal with it. Do I live alone? No, I live with my family. Can you make to speed plane? I mean, I can overspeed it if I wanted to, but that then just starts having the overspeed alarm, and, well, not today. I could do a storm weather. I mean, I'm going to do one more flights today, which will be during live weather, but daytime flights rather than nighttime flights. And then at some points, I will, well, I'll do a daytime flights across Europe. So it's from London Heathrow to Athens. Do I have a favourite aeroplane movie? Not particularly, no. There is one movie about trains I really like. If you ever heard... what's it called? What is it? What is it called? It's going to annoy me now. It's called The Bullet Train. It's a Japanese film about the Shinkansen, and well, it's an interesting watch, to say the least. If you ever watch the English dub of The Bullet Train, it's available on YouTube. The voice acting is terrible. At least the dubbed voice acting is terrible, and it just adds to a level of comedy to the film. It's amazing. The Bullet Train. Soul Plane. Sorry, yeah, Soul Plane I've actually got on DVD. It's, well, it's not politically incorrect, that's for sure, but it's a decent comedy. It's an early 2000s comedy. It's exactly what you'd expect to get in one of those. Airplane's good. Airplane is very good. Air Force One, that's a decent film. That's the Harrison Ford one, isn't it? City lighting, disappointing attitude. I mean, that is what city lighting looks like at highest in real life. I don't know if you've ever flown at night in reality, but that is exactly what it looks like. It's not all sharp, every single light visible dot by dot. It is just a slightly blurry, glowy mess. That is realistic night lighting. Yeah, I'm not going to get involved with the... To be fair, player, a couple of people have made a few complaints about you during the chat. I have seen that go by. Sea lights have some haze. Your train driver in Germany, sounds good. Show the wing views, sure thing. So you've got the left-hand wing. Right now we're flying over Milan. We are flying over Milan. Okay, going daytime, sure thing. So we go back to external camera. Also try and spot Milan Bergamo Airport, which should be around here somewhere. Not too far away. Yeah, so it now has to download all the daytime textures, which takes a couple of moments. But it's all there. Well, the name is Milan. Oh, fair play. Yeah, this is a nighttime flight today, so we'll stick to the nighttime. What's my internet speed? It's 180 megabytes per second download. I should probably start descending soon, actually, because we are getting quite close to our destination. Around 80 miles from the airport, we'll start our descent. Bergamo is 40 kilometers east of Milan, yes, so it should be somewhere along the foothills of the Alps. I'm keeping an eye out for it. In fact, see if I know how to do this. Yes, I've turned on airport data and zoom in. There's an airport over there, it's quite large. That could, however, be Linate. I think that's Milan Linate there, yes it is, single runway. And then Milan Malpensa is going to be somewhere towards the east, or the west, sorry. Garda Lake, yes. At some point we can fly to East Midlands, Nottingham. That New Berlin Airport is in the game. I mean, New Berlin Airport, I believe, is in the game, Berlin-Brandenburg, but we just departed from Tegel today, because this is an EasyJet flight between Berlin and Nice. But Berlin is also in the game, both Berlin airports. Actually, do we call it both Berlin airports or all three Berlin airports? Because you have Tegel and Schönefeld, but then Brandenburg is replacing Schönefeld. So is it 2 or is it 3 airports? What are we calling this, guys? Yeah, so Crizzy also has his own Twitch channel, and he does stream from time to time. I presume we'll be starting again when you are you getting to stream some Microsoft Flight Sim? What are you going to do about that, Crizzy? Where is Côte d'Azur in France? Yes, so south of France. Oh yes, and Tempelhof, but Tempelhof no longer exists. That closed in 2006, if my memory can serve me right. I'm not sure about dual GPU cards, but the 970, you do need to bear in mind, is the minimum requirement of Microsoft Flight Simulator, and therefore do expect to have it set to quite low. How long till landing? Landing's in about 20 minutes till landing. 20-30 minutes till landing. We start our top of descent in about 5-10 minutes. Is it 770 the minimum? Oh yes, okay, so yeah, the minimum requirements of this simulator really are low. It's a very easy platform to run. A very nice one. Flying from Germany to France, I can speak no German. I can speak a little bit of French. Bonjour, ça va? Ça va bien, merci. When's your birthday? Quelle est la date aujourd'hui? Bon anniversaire. Bonsoir. Yes, good evening. This is a GTX 1660, so 1650 should run the sim relatively alright. Why not use VATSIM for ATC? Because it's not out yet for Microsoft Flight Simulator, at least not what I can see. VNAV works on some aeroplanes. Do I prefer Saint flight controller? What's the Saint? I presume you mean Cytec. I mean, I have the Thrustmaster stick and throttle, the Hotas Warthog. Thrustmaster are good, I do like what they do. Cytec, they're more for the budget user. I mean, they're not bad by any means, and especially their ProFlight's yoke and throttle. I mean, for a lot of people, that's their go-to kit, so Cytec are not bad by any means. But I used to have a Pacific Aviator stick, which wasn't particularly well. So Cytec stuff are better than others, but Thrustmaster, I do really like their stuff. They are a top-end company. I really do like their kits. There is ATC, yes. You can pop open the panel, but I choose not to use ATC, so we can ignore that. Well, I consider flying into Kansai, Osaka. I mean, I could fly into Japan, Osaka, or Kansai at some point. Yeah, you speak of Logitech as well. Logitech aren't too bad. I mean, I haven't really used much of their kit. My brother has had one of their sticks for about 10 years now, 15 years, and it still works just like he got it on day one. Crash, please. Not today, Luca. We're not crashing today. At least I don't intend to crash. Runway 04 at Nice is flying over the water, and so let's preferably not go for a swim today. Welcome, Heine Knight. How you doing? Yeah, any joystick, any stick, anything you've got, better than keyboard and flight sim, 100%. How much do I think plane liveries will be? Plane liveries will be absolutely free. Asobo will make some, or if they don't, then there'll be a lot of freeware texturers who'll just do them on day one for you. Liveries absolutely free. Can you use the yoke without roller pedals? Yes, you can. Huh, 737 viewers, that's a sign. Right, we should be hitting our top of descent soon now, so let's start thinking about getting this aircraft down. We need to be at 3,500, is it, for the intercepts of the ILS? 4,000 for the intercepts of the ILS. So we'll lower this. And we'll start descending initially at 1,000 feet per minute. Please. There we go. Took its time. Yeah, so the white arrow that you use normally there on the ND. Do need to remember that VNAV in the A320 is not yet fully working. It does work if you use the built-in flight planner, not yet if you use SimBrief for plugging your flight plans manually. So Asobo are working on the 320 to improve it systems-wise, but VNAV still needs a little bit of tweaking. The 787, for example, that one's pretty much perfect with the VNAV, but the A320 needs a little bit more work. If you speak a bit of German, why'd you say Tegel? I don't speak German, I speak French, but not German. I speak no German whatsoever. And most people in the UK call it Berlin Tegel, so if it's Berlin Tegel, or Tegel, I mean, that doesn't seem to sound right to me. Tegel. Berlin Tegel. I'll try and look, I'll look into it. Have I used Honeycomb Alpha? Yes, I have. It's not bad. Not a bad bit of kit, that. A lot of people do like it. Certainly worth the money. ETA is about 25 minutes. 25-30 minutes. That bit of light over there, presumably will be, well, that's either Monaco or Nice. Thinks back to Little Britain, that's a throwback. Hablan in Espanol. No, I don't speak any Spanish either. I speak English natively. Nie mówię po polsku. Moja mama jestem po polsku. I nie mówię I rozumiem troszkę. If you can guess what language that is, probably an easy one to guess, because half my viewers speak that language. Je parle français. Speak very basic French, as you can guess. I can have a very, very basic conversation with someone in France. And then, Huvud låter Pohum Suomea. That's another language I can speak a little bit of, but that one's a bit more obscure. You pretty much have to speak the language to know that was just a very badly pronounced version of good evening. I speak Huvud låter Pohum Suomea. Longlet. Polish pretty good, yes. So my mum's half Polish. Moja mama jestem po polsku. Mówiłem I rozumiem troszkę. Na samolot wracałam na Nice 20 minuty. What do I know about Romania? It's in Europe. They speak Romanian there. That's all I'm going to say. Przychodzenia z Canada. Suomi is Finland, yes. Jak się masz? Nice and dobre dzisiaj. Nice and dobre. Jutro jedziemy na pracę. I'm 21, not 14. I'm 21. Where are we landing? We're landing in Nice. Nice Côte d'Azur. The people are nice there. What do you know about Romania? Nothing. Yeah, I don't know much about Romania. I mean, I don't even know. Is it Bucharest or Budapest that's in Romania? It's one of the two. I think it's Budapest. Bucharest is somewhere else. Oh yes, Dracula. People do like garlic in Romania. What is Athens IRL? Athens is the capital city of Greece. How did I get access? I gained access through flightsim.com. I'm a article writer and reviewer for them. And Microsoft gave me access to the simulator on Thursday night. So thank you very much to Microsoft for giving me this opportunity. It's well appreciated. I've just realised our descent rate's way too low at the moment. We need to start staying a little bit higher than we are at the moment. We'll start slowing down the aeroplane as well, just to bring things in a little bit. 260 knots for now. We'll adjust it around there when we need to. My setup is an NVIDIA GTX 1660 on an i7-6700 processor with 16GB of RAM. I'm using the Thrustmaster HOTAS Warthog joystick and throttle, running X-Plane on medium-high settings. Currently at 30 FPS because I have limited the FPS, but if I turned off the limiter, we'd be running at about 50 right now. Everything's in the description for all you need to know. Have I ever been to Jamaica? No, I have not. But at some point I will go and pay a visit. Window view, so you've got the right hand window. And you've got the left hand window. Although not too much going on at the moment, since one side's coast, the other side is mountain. Why limit FPS? The reason I've limited FPS is so Bandicam stops lagging. My number one issue with Bandicam is that, well, it's not an issue with it is an issue with Bandicam. So, if the sim's running at 50 FPS and Bandicam streams out at 30 FPS, because 30 doesn't go into 50, as a result, it will skip frames, it will jump frames, and that's no good. It looks laggy, it looks stuttery, it's not fun. So if I make the sim run at 30, and Bandicam encodes at 30, then it skips no frames, because everything's running the same. It's a 1-to-1 scale. If I was at 60 FPS Bandicam 30, then it's fine. It divides by 2. But 30 and 50 don't quite add up, and therefore I try to avoid. I want to use NVIDIA Shadowplay. The problem is, I need to look into getting it to work with custom RNTP servers. It is possible, but you have to pay for a tool to do it, so I'm very much looking to, well, I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but we'll see. I am using ABS right now. Yes, I am. Sorry you're late to have the Berlin jokes restarted. I mean, we're long gone from Berlin. We're now descending over Nice. Descending towards Nice, we shouldn't be too far from Monaco, which will be somewhere along the coast here. Have I ever been to Nice? No, I have not. There is no link to free access. The only way to get Microsoft Flight Simulator is to buy it from Steam or the Microsoft Store. Going to Nice, that's nice. Yes, this is a live stream. Hello there, Passion Flight Simulator. How are you? 18 minutes till landing. Yes, about that. Although we're a little bit higher than I'd like to be right now, so what I'll probably do is switch to manual heading, flat towards the coast a little bit, just to get ourselves a little bit lower. That's the one downside to VNAV not fully functional yet. You do need to be very careful with your routing, so we're going to take things a little bit away. We'll continue to send manually. We'll go 170 will do for us. What's my favourite place to go on holiday? I've got no real preference, I'll go anywhere. Yes, if you have Xbox Game Pass, then actually, there you go, you want to use the free link for access. Xbox Game Pass. If you have Game Pass, you get the sim for free through Game Pass. There is no pre-install note. You can only download on Tuesday. Yeah, we're a little bit high at the moment, so we're going to make a left-hand turn and just fly a slightly longer approach into the airport. ATC, I've turned it off. But there is ATC in the sim. Yes, there is. What's my favourite airline? I mean, they're controversial, but I have never had a problem with Ryanair. Last year I flew them 18 times. Maybe 2 flights were delayed. 5 or 6 of them arrived early, so never had a problem with Ryanair. And the tickets are cheap. Name another airline that gets you across the continent for £20 return. Why do you not use ATC? I just prefer flying on my own. If I was using an online network like Vaxim or IVAO, then I'd use ATC. But just for flying on my own, no traffic, I don't know, I just prefer flying on my own. Personal preference. Alright, passing now through 14,000. We should be a little bit hot. We should be a little bit better now. If we make another left-hand turn, when we get to about 10,000, we'll maybe like 8,000 even. We'll make a right-hand turn, head towards that waypoint there. That is. Can we actually direct to that point? Probably not. Okay, that's fine then. We'll just do manual vectored heading into the approach. It's currently midnight in Nice right now. Local time is 22. Okay, it's coming to 11 PM now. 22:57 local time. Passing through 12,000. Let's now make our descent rates a little bit shallower. And let's make a right-hand turn, start heading back towards the route. 205. We'll slow down now as well to 240 knots, get it below 250, ready to pass 10,000. GSX has been confirmed, as has FS2 crew better pushback. So there will be some pushback add-ons out there that do improve that. $23.17. No, apparently is live time at the moment. Perhaps something's a little bit out of alignment there. But you are right. There's a little bit of spoiler now. Passing through 10,000. Landing lights active. If we go down to about 220 knots. That's down 1. Okay, a little bit slower to 210. 220 is the flaps limit for flaps 1, so we'll go down a little bit slower just to avoid the overspeed alarm. That there is the airport. Got a few boats down there. How done real life flying? Yes, I have. I have flown the Flight Design CTSW. I've flown the Icarus C42, and I've also had a flight in the Grob glider. My name's pronounced Drawyah. Belly landing, not yet. Not yet. Never. No, thank you. I hope to never have to deal with landing. Use spoilers. I mean, we don't need them at the moment. Still got plenty to go. We'll start slowing the plane down at about 280 knots. And let's also now activate the approach phase. So, QNH1011. How old was I when I piloted an aircraft? I was 19. I was 19 years old. Where's the name Drawyah come from? It's my surname, flips back to front. It's pronounced Drawyah. Drawyah. Yeah, it's quieter in the Twitch chats. Is it in my ambition to fly commercially? I mean, as much of a dream job it would be, probably not. I certainly can't afford it. There you go, so the terrain radar is now starting to work because we are low enough to actually get terrain around us. So, terrain radar does work. It will slowly fill in as we fly. Must be a pilot for Norwegian Airlines. Let's hope Norwegian Airlines survive a couple of years. I mean, financially, Norwegian aren't doing too great at the moment, but I've flown them a couple of times. They're a nice airline. I do like having free Wi-Fi and on-screen entertainment on a low-cost budget ticket. Dzień dobry, Maciuś. Jak się masz? Can confirm Norwegian isn't doing great. I'm Norwegian. Flaps 2. What time do you crash and burn? Hopefully not anytime soon. So, we're now just flying past the airport there, flying right downwind. Cabin is currently dark, that's the left-hand window. The right-hand window. Get a little bit more light thanks to landing lights, but certainly not too much going on here at the moment. Do I play any instruments? No, I do not. Coming up now to 4,000 feet, flaps 3. Polak, Wiega 2, Bratanki. No, moim mam jestem po polsku, nie mówiłem i rozumiem troszkę. Nie jest bardzo dobre. I can hold a basic conversation in Polish. Is it hard to learn all controls? It's not hard to learn. I mean, once you learn the basics, you kind of just get used to it over time. But I wouldn't call it difficult, no. Let's go 245. In just a moment, we'll make a right-hand turn. We'll go onto the localized. Turn on the landing guidance there. And we'll get ready to Predict landing. You've missed takeoff. Welcome to stream, Resort. You've caught us actually for landing. You've missed the entire flight. London City JFK. I mean, well, that flight actually no longer operates. British Airways have stopped the London to New York flights via Shannon, the A318. They have now retired the aircraft as well. Ones that no HUD and commercial AC. I mean, aircraft do have HUDs. 787 and 350 both have HUDs. Where I live in the UK. Evening, Jordan. How are you? Oh, you love the ground, so colourful. Alright, so we'll get ready now to make a right hand turn. We'll get onto the glide slope and bring the aircraft into land. Am I a pilot? No, I'm not. Scenery is Bing Map Streams data, yes. Flight release is in 25 hours, you alright? Not long to go now. What's the longest flight sim flight I've made? That was an X-plane flight in the Magnite 787 from London Heathrow to Perth in Australia. That was 19 hours flight sim flights. We landed in Perth, did a 30-minute turnaround, then we actually took off again and flew to Melbourne, so in total it was 23 hours of X-plane. Landing's in about 5 minutes, less than that even. Good job didn't crash the desktop. I mean, again, VFR map, if you know, you know. Fortunately, it happened quite at a quiet time of the stream. Am I streaming daily? I will be streaming daily next week, yes. The week after, I'll go back to my normal Wednesday, Saturday and Sunday streams. But next week, I do plan to stream on the daily after work. Right, 4,000 now, heading 005. Let's bring the aircraft into land, shall we? Slow it down as well, shall we? What was my VREF actually for landing? 147. And there's Nice Airport over there. Thank you. Ooh, thank you for £20 from Patrick. Much appreciated, man. Thank you very much for that. We'll turn off the terrain radar since we don't really need it, but it is fully functional. It is there. Again, thank you very much for that, Patrick. Much appreciated. Getting close to that 3090. We'll see how much it costs when it comes out. Localizer on. We will hand fly the landing, but we will use the ILS to guide us into the ground. So we'll fly level at 4,000. 10 miles to the airport, we'll lower the landing gear. Thank you, Luca. Before we end the stream, can you have a look at Gatwick? We'll see, because like I said, I do have a second flight planned. And so I do want to be able to end this flight, set up the second one, have a quick refresher, have a quick shower probably, and then go out for the second flight. So I'll see what the timing is like for it. Could be a late one tonight, but hey, it's worth it. We're already on flaps 3. We can lower to flaps 4, but we'll do that when we lower the landing gear. There you go. Nice is now coming up to view. Did the game freeze? No. No, it hasn't. Don't you worry. When we'll be landing? We'll be landing in approximately 3 or 4 minutes. Don't know if anything scares out of you. Alright, approach mode. Sets. Gear down. Flaps 4. Should check the map. That's never gonna die down, is it? So as we start to overfly Nice, all of the fancy grounds lighting should now start to come into view. Notice I like the bilars tonight, so I have gone back through the settings and I have tweaked the simulator now, so it should no longer stutter, it should no longer lag, it should no longer crash. I spent all day today sorting this stuff out, so you guys get a better stream out of it. Thank you very much, Rivers for the €2.29, much appreciated. Next flight will be London Heathrow to Athens. That's about 3.5 to 4 hours of flight time. Yeah, so there is heat burn coming out of the engines. Those are coming out the back of the engines. And eventually they will work on the in-sim effects, so we have like contrails, tyre smoke, engine smoke, all that kind of stuff as well. And so expect that to be here soon. Speed should be at 147. That's my VREF. Flaps down 4. Gear down 3 greens. Medium braking. Spoilers armed. Pre-landing. Landing lights active. Pre-landing checklist complete. As you can see, the ILS is centered at the moment. There's no more of that issue we had initially where it was taking us in a random direction. The ILS is now much more stable. We're flying into Nice right now. Flying into Nice. Flaps down 4. Oh, there's sharks in those waters. You never know. You never know. Localize not active, but approach mode is. What's my day job? I do marketing. Marketing and database backend support. $1,000. Autopilot deactivates. Nice and stable. Don't you hate watching other people with early access with their nothing about aviation? What do you mean about that? I have flown general aviation aircraft before. I've got basic understanding of aircraft setup and flight. I'm not perfect, but I'm not completely unknowledgeable, don't you worry.
400.
Oh, other channels, okay. We're a little bit high, so we'll just bring the aircraft down a tiny bit. Small adjustments, bring it down.
200. 100.
Committed.
60, 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard 5.
Rust thrust sets. $80 knots. 60 knots for rust thrust cut. Cut the auto braking. And let's now exit runway left. Thank you very much, Luca, for the 199. Much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nice. I have no idea where the gates are, to be honest here. I believe they are to the right. Oh no. That's them in front of us, isn't it? Perfect. We've exited the runway right in the right place. Then lights off, taxi lights on. Turn on the APU. And let's now taxi to the gates. Yeah, the night lighting in the sim really is phenomenal. And you can see all the houses there on the hills. Nice is a very, very beautiful city. And hey, no lagging, no FPS stuttering. It actually ran the simulator at a decent frame rate today. Laps up. Thank you for the £2, James. Much appreciated. There's a bus right there. I don't like what you're doing. I really don't like what you're doing there, bus. Let's not get involved. As for a gate, I believe that's the stand right there, actually, so we'll go push ourselves there. See, at least the van waits for me. He will stop, he'll let me pass by, not whatever the bus is doing. The bus has not been very helpful. There is a follow me car, yes. Some airports, some aircraft will use follow me cars. Someone's parks a jet bridge in the middle of the taxiway, so we're going to have to stop it here. Thank you, Nice ground. Right, parking brakes set, APU bleed active, engines 1 and 2 off. We will turn off the beacon lights, strobes are automatic, taxi lights off. And there we have it, external power is available, so we'll actually switch the external power. And now we'll cut down the APU. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Nice. Let's see if we can use the jet bridge. See if that'll come to our airplane or not. Yeah, that was overall not a half bad flight. I mean, I know a lot of you guys wanted to see what the nighttime scenery looks like in Microsoft Flight Simulator. And so I do hope that this gave you a good idea of what will be to come. I mean, it's a very, very beautiful platform. Look at the runway lights as well. It's very pretty platform, this Microsoft Flight Simulator. Got a little tower there, that flashes out. Gives you an idea where the airport location is. Thank you, John, for the $4.99, much appreciated. $4.99. I like it. It's a very pretty simulator, this. There's a lot that Microsoft Flight Sim has to offer. So, jet bridge now comes into position, and they will now allow passengers to disembark the aircrafts. Okay, it is a little dark, I will admit. Perhaps a bit of lighting wouldn't go amiss, but again, as third-party developers come in and other sim upgrades as well come, you never know what the future will bring, and lighting, perhaps, something that's on the list. But anyways, I'm now going to start prepping ourselves for our second flight, so we shall now bring this one to an end. Hope you guys enjoyed the flights. Do leave a like if you enjoyed the stream. Do subscribe as well if you haven't done so already. And I wish you all a very good week ahead. Take care and goodbye.